Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Siobhan Moore. I'm a brand ambassador, event manager, as well as a broadcaster and speaker. And I'm so happy to have Raceen with us today. We're going to be talking about all things business, marketing, investments, the whole nine. So we're going to get started. And
Yes.
Raceen, please tell us more about you. She is a marketing coordinator and blogger. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into it.
Thank
So
you.
yes, you're so welcome. So tell us more about your experience and what it is that you do.
Yeah. So, hi, everyone. My name is Raceen Malcolm. I've been in marketing slash the blogging world for, I'm going to say like almost 8 or 9 years now. If I'm aging myself, maybe even 10. I started my own blog and my own LLC in 2016. Before that, I was doing a bunch of things freelance as well. Currently, or previously, I should say, for 7 years, I worked at Geico Insurance. My last position was as the paid social media marketing coordinator, which was a dream job. Loved it so much. And then I actually am now doing freelance user interface research. So, kind of trying to make sure we understand our target audience, making sure ads are being received well, or if there's confusion, gathering evidence and making sure that we fix that for our customers.
Okay. So I did a little research on her. She do have her background Geico. So tell us about your experience with Geico.
So it's like all experience, I would say, is a lot of hard work. I started at the bottom, as Jake would say. I worked in customer service. The great thing about being at Geico for so long was I always knew that it had one of the best marketing departments of honestly of history. It's so well renowned, and I knew I wanted to be in marketing for years. So I bided my time, got small promotions, moved from customer service to claims, and to finally into the marketing position. The way that I got that job was because I was able to show tenacity. I showed them that, hey, I have a blog. Hey, I'm actually able to generate user content. I'm able to generate interest, and I'm making numbers. I think that was one of the most
Yes.
important things. Yes, I had to make the way because I didn't have my bachelor's degree. I was still going to school. I grew up in a very broke family, so I had to pay for school myself. And that is a big hindrance when you don't have a bachelor's degree. So I had to show other avenues that I would be able to, give them some skills, let them know that I'm not just like playing on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Playing on TikTok.
Right.
And I think that was a big factor. A lot of jobs love when you can open your own business or even just run a blog because it shows commitment for one, depending on how long you've done it, and it shows the wherewithal, as they say, to learn about something that you don't have a actual degree in or skill in. So that really helped me a lot in my career.
Wow, they was able to open the door for you, even though you had your background in blogging. That's awesome.
Mhm.
What, so
Thank
are
you.
you still working in the marketing field now?
I am. Unfortunately, I was laid off from Geico because of, as they say, corporate restructuring.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about me, I'm not going to let anything hold me down. I'm not going to be on
Okay.
pause. So almost immediately, I picked up a freelance gig where I work for what they call a recruiting company, basically, and that's where I do the user interface or UI interface, as they call it, where we're screening and making sure that people are reading our ads well, or if there's any confusion, we can take a look to see what's going on there. And I can't name what it is because it's a financial institution, it's a bank, but I'm
Got
heavily
it.
in marketing. I'm in email marketing, like Instagram. I'm not tracking the numbers, but I'm getting the campaigns right, getting the copy right to make sure that gets out to the customers and they can understand what's being sold to them.
Yeah, because I really want to dabble into that. It's more people normally think of marketing for their business. And it's so many avenues to marketing because I'm in experimental marketing and that's more face to face. Whereas you have digital marketing, you have mobile marketing, email marketing, content marketing. Girl, we can go on and on and on and on. What has been your experience? Have you done any face to face marketing or has it been more digital?
So in the last, I would say like 3 years, it's been a lot of digital, mostly due to COVID. But just like you, I did a lot of experiential marketing, event planning and producing. One of my best events, I partnered with a local Ben and Jerry's for a Valentine's Day event at a local restaurant. So got people in the door, got Ben and Jerry's there, raffled off like I think it was like birthday cake, ice cream coupons, and just like was a great night in New York City. So very familiar with experiential marketing. I think if I didn't do digital marketing, that's where I would go, my next avenue, because I love putting on like a party, an event. So
Girl,
one
you and
day
me
I
both.
hope to get back into
You and
it.
me both. I love it.
We should get together and do a conference because that's my next goal. I want to like start a
Yes, snapping my fingers over here. Girl, we gotta connect. Yes, yes.
conference because like I'm also trying to start my own marketing agency. So it's still up and coming. I'm still just getting customers and clients under my base. But
Right.
in theory, I'm going to do all aspects of marketing: SEO, experiential, digital marketing, campaign management, influencer. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
look out for it. The Armory Marketing Agency will be here within the next couple months.
Yes, congratulations on getting that started and wanting to go into that direction because it's needed. It's very needed because in plain sight, like I said, most people when they think about marketing, oh, I want to market my business. How do I get my analytics up? What is Google what is Google Analytics? What's SEO? And like for me, I'm so blue in the face when it comes to that stuff. Like I be needing to call somebody up, like, can you help me with my website? Try to get traffic to my website because that is complete different from what I am used to. Because I like being in people's spaces. I like to talk to people. And I'm like, you want
Mhm.
to work with me? You want to connect? Opposed to having to do the content marketing or trying
Mhm.
to figure out where your analytics are. And that's a challenge for me and where I need to grow in. But it's very interesting how broad the marketing aspect is.
It is. And what's really funny? I hate math so much, and never realized I was choosing a field where I'd be looking at spreadsheets. I had to learn Excel at a really highly accelerated rate. I had to learn master level Excel within about 2.5 months. I
But
spent sleepless nights. I had finals and stuff where I was awake for 17 hours creating dashboards, user boards, doing financial analysis, I should say.
uh-huh.
It's very encompassing. So like that's an important part of SEO. That's an important part of digital marketing. You're always going to need to be able to know what your audience is, where you're going, what you're doing currently, and what you can do in the future. So that's the thing that I definitely recommend if somebody wants to get into either digital marketing or SEO.
Mhm.
Learn Excel, learn to analyze, even if it's not just with Excel. Because right now with user interface, I'm analyzing people's words, I'm analyzing what they're doing, how they're clicking, how they're moving. So there's always data out there to get in order to make your business better and in order to kind of market better to your customers.
Yeah, that's very important. Very important. So, what is your take on your experience, do you want to with your business, what industry do you want to cater to? Because I know like when I got familiar with someone and they was like, yeah, I do marketing, but
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, she was marketing for health. And it's so interesting because you have the sports world, you have entertainment, you have health, you have automotive. What industry do you want to focus on? Or is it corporate or it doesn't matter?
So the thing about working for a large corporation like Geico is you get used to being large, you get used to being known. I love being able to say, I work at Geico Insurance and people being like, oh, you guys are the best. And that makes me feel good, right? But after being laid off, a friend of mine has been telling me and kind of instilling on me as long as the company is good, you can start small. You may even be able to have greater success at a smaller company. So before, where my focus was with Geico, we did a lot of auto. I was on the paid social team for auto, as well as boat and RVs, motorcycles, things like that. That's my bread and butter. But I'm versatile. I can learn anything. You know what I mean? So I'm ready to kind of get into or get back into influencer marketing, event marketing, you said sports marketing. One thing about me, my supervisor would say at Geico is I have a lot of ideas. So there was a time where I was like, we should be cross functional at this point. We're too siloed. We need
Right.
to be together. Let's get together with sports marketing, get some influencers in there, get some, like, let's talk to our customers. They haven't done that, but I'm sure it's within their realm as they do a corporate restructuring. I'm sure we're going to see it. And I can say it was my idea.
Wow, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Like you want to see. you want to see it come together instead of being two different entities. So that's very,
Exactly.
mm-hmm,
One thing about the marketing departments in most companies, sometimes they're very siloed. Like email marketing does its own thing, event marketing does its own thing, sports marketing, like conferences, things like that. But when you are able to come together and do things and interweave each other, one, it saves money because you're already at the event. Let me use your content. Let me use your content for my content. I can turn this. You can turn one video into 50 videos, right? If you do it right. And I always thought that would be like such a great thing, especially because we're insurance. You're trying to save money. And I think that's the future. Like if you can make sure that you're targeting the right things, not just any and everything,
right.
but if something works well and it's naturally going hand in hand, you should be interfacing that as much as you can and flipping that.
Mm-hmm. So as far as marketing has being a marketing coordinator, have you had experience working outside of the corporate world? Have you been working with any businesses as well?
Yeah, so with my new company, the Armory Marketing Agency, I'm doing a lot of things on spec, that's like freelance, basically just getting stuff for my portfolio because a lot of stuff that I did with Geico and a lot of corporations, you can't take that with you. I mean, I guess you could, but you can't. So I've been reaching out to a lot of minority businesses, influencers, and giving them like, it's called like a SWOT analysis. So I look at their business, see what they're currently doing, how they're being targeted, what are their likes, how many followers do they have, where their followers are, what's their website like? So I do a full deep dive. I look into their Instagram, their Facebook, TikTok, website, whatever they have. And then I do an overview analysis. And then after that, I implement, or I not implement, but I give them suggestions on things that I think would work really well for them. I let them do that for a month, 2 months, give me those numbers. And then after that 2 month mark, that's where we take that data and we see what's working, what's not working, what content should we be leaning more into now that we've had this 2 month trial of being consistent. What content should we stay away from? Or what content do we need to get into for the first time? And it's been really great. I love connecting with, I live on Long Island. It's a very white area, very
Mm-hmm.
white town. Nothing wrong with that, but I love being able to connect with other people of color, other minorities,
Right.
especially women in business. So that's been really, really great for me. And they're small businesses most of the time. So
Mhm.
they're not major corporations. And I find a lot of passion in them. That's where I've been focusing.
And what area that's in New York?
So Long Island, if you think New York City, if you think New York City right here, Long
Mhm.
Island is right here, and
Oh,
it's
you said
shaped like a
Long
fish.
Island. I thought you said something
Yeah.
else. Okay.
No, yeah, sorry. Is it the accent? Does it come through the Long Island accent? Yeah.
Yes. So I want to dabble into a little bit about investments. So as far as like investing, I know you said off off record that you wanted to explain about like NFTs and stuff like that. What oh, also too, are you into like real estate investments, um, life insurance, stuff like that, like different investments that on a personal end or just business end, or what perspective of investments are you coming from?
So after working in insurance for 7 years, everyone makes fun of me, but there are two things that I got out of that. I read every single policy, every single document, every page. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna know what I have, and I'm gonna know the loopholes and the loopholes you're gonna try to use. I'm gonna try to use against you. So that's one. And then two, I'm a firm believer in insurance. It is better to have something than to not have it and need it. You know what I mean? So when I look at like real estate investments, NFT, stock portfolios, I recently just got into that within the last couple of years. I've always had a 401k, but I've never taken an interest in where my money was going until I needed to buy a house. And I was like, where is my money going? So I'm a big advocate now for kind of budgeting and getting to know your finances. Once you know your finance, you know yourself. I looked at a budget sheet, I think it was like 3, 4 years ago, like right around when COVID happened. I wanted to
Mhm.
cry. I was like, where am I spending my money? These stocks
Right.
that I'm holding in my 401k, my employer picks for me, so I don't even know how good they are. And then, I had a friend who got me into like a finance group for women and people of color.
What is it
Really great.
called?
So it's called Atrevida. It's the Life Budget Challenge. You
Okay.
can Google it. She went to Harvard. She did this thing in the last, I think the last year she paid off. She did this thing where for 2 years she focused on all of her debt from Harvard. She paid off $136,000 in like 2 years by streamlining her budget, always knowing where her money was, and learning to tell herself no. That's my issue. I'm gonna treat yourself, girl. If it's Friday,
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, I'm gonna treat myself. So I had to
Okay.
relearn that. So
Right.
if anybody wanted to get into that, anyone who wants to get into investing, that would be the first thing that I would suggest. Know yourself, know where your money is and where your
Mhm.
money isn't. Once you get settled with that fact, then you should start investing.
I hear you. I believe my experience with investments is, of course, I got my own 401k. I did a little bit in the Roth area, like having a Roth IRA, and also I'm starting to do real estate investments. Like I want to do like invest in real estate itself, not buy property. That's a complete difference that I don't think a lot of people know. Like you can actually invest in real estate itself and then you can
Okay,
actually
like you
just
should.
buy property. Like,
Got
yep, yep. So, from your opinion or your experience, which form of investments do you think is best? But you did say insurance.
Yeah. So not that I think you should invest in insurance. I think you should look at investments as insurance. So I know that people like sell life insurance policies that you can like take out loans on and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of personal experience with that because it's just not something that's profitable to me. I know other people say that it's profitable for them, and that's okay. They can do that. I focus more on traditional methods. The most non-traditional I've ever gotten is like Bitcoin and like Ethereum and things like that. At the height
Mm-hmm.
of 2020, I was killing it with Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Um,
What?
yeah, it was great. And the sales from that, the a smart play with that, you thing about investing is you have to read a lot as well. You have to not just read the news, you got to like talk to people, you got to look at financial books that might be decades old. Um,
Oh, okay.
Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett always has like a list of investment books that he recommends, and one is by Benjamin Graham. The I think it's The Wealthy Investor, and I just bought it the other day. I have so many investment books, but I believe in going about it as traditionally as possible. But if you get something that you think, because we're in a new land, we're in developing new technologies, new things are coming about. If your gut says something, if you can find sources to back it up, I was reading about Bitcoin, I was reading about Doge, I'm getting into stocks for EVs, electric vehicles, because when Biden won, I was like, I want to invest in electric vehicles because I know he has a good green
Really?
plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. In the next coming years, I'm expecting my EV stocks to be worth a lot. Just like Dogecoin went really far really quickly, um, this could go really far really quickly. By I think he said 2036, he expects all public transportation to be like electric, like all buses. So
Right.
it has a future for it. Get into it now. Read a lot. Don't take my word for it. It's not financial advice, but you want to read about it. You want to invest in things that apply to your life, like a bunch of my friends are vegans. I look into vegan companies like Impossible, Beyond Meat. Invest in things that you care about because you're more likely to keep track of it, see how they're doing. If heaven forbid a stock is falling, you're already in there because oh my god, I love Beyond Meat. The stock is falling. Let me get my money out. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Right.
Yeah. So
And
I would say invest in what you believe in. I can't tell you what to believe in, but do a lot of research.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
some methods work for some people, some don't. Like you said, like
Exactly.
it could be real estate or it's actually investing in a particular company. So it all depends on what that person's preference is.
I would love to get into real estate. I did the not smart thing, as people say. I bought a house to live in, and and not as like a real estate investment because I'd never owned a home before. My family's an immigrant family, so that was really important to us to own a house. So that was one bucket list crossed off. In the future, I would definitely be interested in like a multifamily home.
Yeah, yeah. Because my family, some of my family members, or my brother and my mother, shoot, my father too, they were into like flipping homes, so to speak, HUD homes.
Yeah.
And so they've done that all my childhood. So that was their form of investing. And when I got older, I'm like, I'm kind of interested in, real estate. I'm kind of not. And I was like, I don't want to get another HUD home. I don't know. I don't want to see another HUD home. Like, having to buy a wear down home and having to fix it up. I'm like, if I see
Yeah.
another house we gotta fix up. I mean, because that was like my whole shop.
Oh man, yeah, I can understand getting sick of like constant construction.
Mhm.
But was it profitable?
Yeah, it was over time
Okay.
for them. Yeah, but for
Yeah.
me, for me to look into that, I was like, I don't want to see another HUD home in my life. Like maybe down the line, but that's not where my perspective is going with real estate right now. I want to do the investment part. I don't want to have
Gotcha.
a physical location.
Understand, because then you got to manage the property, you got a property manager. It can be very time consuming. They make it seem so easy on Instagram and TikTok,
Okay,
like
don't they?
flip a house.
Especially
Yeah.
speaking of the Atlanta area, they have like dozens of real estate agents out there, like so many.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm. And during the pandemic, I felt like everyone and their mom was going into real estate, whether they wanted to be a broker or whatever. And now the market is like such a standstill. Interest rates are so high. Like everything is a gamble. I was telling somebody the other day, hindsight is 2020. So if you could, you would. If you had known, you would. Like you don't know what the future holds, so you just got to make sure you're doing what's right for you.
Right. So going back into marketing, what has been your aha moment or your best experience or something that you can just like think of to say that was like you really was like, oh, that was fun, or I really enjoyed learning this aspect, or what could you share?
I think the best part for me is honestly actually learning something new and then getting my knowledge reaffirmed. Just the other day, I went to an influencer event, or not even an influencer event. It was a creative event. It was for people who love to be creative, who are in graphic design, influencing, photography,
Look, it sounds like
marketing.
I need to be going to that event too.
Me too. It's called the CCNYC, so the Creative Collective NYC. You know that? Yeah.
Sounds
You know the
familiar.
money. Yeah, exactly. So she had an event in New York City at the Apple iStore. Um, she had a speaker who was an influencer and now her creative marketing team. This woman was amazing. Everything that she said resonated with me, and it made me realize, okay, the economy kind of sucks right now. You got laid off from one position, but you know your stuff, girl. You know your stuff. Like everything that she was saying, how to build a content plan, how to connect with your audience, how to track, like, when things are going bad on a campaign, what are you going to do? If you don't have enough money on a campaign, what are you going to do? And it just reaffirmed my knowledge. Yeah, if you don't have enough money on a campaign, you got to just make do with what you got. If your campaign's not doing well, you just got to relaunch it, try something different, new hashtags, different photography, different photos. So I think that's the most like fun part for me, and I'm learning something new every day. Like how much can I stand? What is my endurance? Can I
Right.
can I flip something if it's not going my way, or will I give up? So that's the best part of marketing for me because it feels like it's a sure thing. If you can pour enough money into something, and a lot of corporations do, they have a lot of money. They give Instagram hundreds of millions of dollars a month just to get their stuff shown. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to get
Because
their stuff shown. And it feels like you can't do anything organic, but being a part of like the CPNYC and seeing other creatives and just getting your knowledge like reaffirmed and like an Instagram post goes viral or even just gets 100 likes. That's 100 more than before. If I had 100 people in this room right now, I'd be overwhelmed.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. Because even with my own experience with marketing, within these last couple of months, I was able to help my business with email marketing and revamp my whole LinkedIn page. As to now, I'm like, okay, so what's my next step? I still need to keep this going. And lo and behold, I'm like, it's a whole bunch of other stuff I gotta do. Like I have to figure out my ideal um, client avatar. When I get that down and my brand strategy down, then I can move into content marketing after discussing this with a brand strategist. And I was like, oh, so I didn't went all the way in this direction. I gotta finish this first, then I gotta go in that direction. Okay, I get it. Like so it's a whole formula. It's a
Mhm.
very interesting way of knowing what direction you have to go in for your own business or what you're trying to accomplish. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, and but the great thing about it is, while the details themselves might vary, a lot of books have the overall points, the overall order right out there for you. Like when I went into FICO in the marketing department, I was like, this reaffirms every conference I've ever been to, every book I've ever read, and trying to
Yes,
get it together. So they do the same order as we do. They have to start out with the strategy, who is their target audience. Sometimes what happens is people they look at the footage and the content that they want to put out first without thinking, who am I targeting? What am I trying to say? They're just trying to get something out. And it's a little bit of planning, but you have to kind of get those bare bones things. They don't even have to be super detailed. Get those down, and you'll see a drastic improvement as opposed to just creating content and throwing it out there and hoping it sticks.
hmm hmm.
Mhm.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you. Do you have any last minute advice, tips, experience, or inspiration to share with us?
I would love to. I hope someone finds inspiration from this. It's been really fun being on here, and I'd love to do it again. I My one advice is never give up. My friends call me relentless. If there is a roadblock, I will speed right through it. If there is something going on, I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to figure it out. It might take some time. I will give myself a day, two, maybe a week even to feel bad about it. But then you got to pick yourself back up. If you know what you want and you know what your end goal is, just keep moving towards it.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the prime thing to do is keep going,
Mhm.
keep pushing. Well, as I say, keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's easier said than done for sure. I definitely get that. But you just got to remain true to what you want. If you hear what they say, like, you're so worried about what other people are doing, you're digging for gold, you see someone else has gold, so you go dig over there, you might miss the goal that you have within yourself. That's what I think about it.
hmm. Well, thank you, Ray, for coming
Yeah,
on with me. It's a pleasure getting to know more about your background in marketing,
yeah.
talking about investments. It's been a pleasure. We got to do this again.
Yes, thank you so much, Fun. I had such a good time. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.